started, the first thing we need to do is we need to spray down, and I'm going to spray down with permethrin. Permethrin has been very good for me, and it does a very good job. There are other good repellents out there for ticks and mosquitoes as well. So I've just used this for many years. So let's go ahead and spray down before we go anywhere. Right, guys, I'm going to share a couple verses with you real quick. This is James chapter 1, verse 5. So it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not the man that suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man and unstable in all his ways. Alright guys, so what are some things that we want to look for before we set up camp? There are 5 different things that we want to look for. Number 1, which way is the wind blowing? That way our shelter can actually work as a windbreak and we're not getting blown on the entire night. Number 2, you want to look for widow makers. These are dead limbs that are coming out of the trees, or dead trees that might fall during the night. We don't want anything to happen to you. Number 3, water. Always have a good source of water nearby. Number 4, you want to look for is wildlife. And number 5, you want wood. So those are the 5 W's of bushcrafting that you want to look for before you even think about setting up camp. Another thing that you want to do is you want to have as many resources in one place as possible. So that way you're not walking 200, 300 yards for one resource and then having to come back to camp and then walk the opposite direction about that far as well. So you want to have as many resources in one location as possible. So let's find a place to set up and get started. Alright guys, so here are my tools that I'm going to be using to set up our shelter today. So we've got this is a hatchet, saw, and hammer all in one, which I got at Walmart for about $35 from Ozark Trail, excuse me. And then I also got some paracord, 550 paracord from Walmart as well. So you can get like 2 of these for about $5, and this is 50 foot long, so that's going to be more than enough for what we need it for tonight. Hang tight, we're going to have fun. We'll see you guys here in just a second. Our ridge line, the ridge pole. Back there. Alright. Go see if this. Alright. Well, I had to pivot a little bit. That's okay. This isn't exactly the spot I was wanting, but it'll work. But that's what we're out here doing, right? Learning as we go along. Half hitch. I'm gonna double it up, make a double hatch. Double hitch. I'm just gonna take this around. Go up and under. Tie this up here, and we'll have our ridge line ready to go. I may go ahead and put another round of rope on that one over there, just to hold it in place a little bit better. Missing some good opportunities. So I encourage you to get out, try something new. That's the only way we're ever going to learn. So that'll hold. And then we'll start putting stuff on the back and creating our shelter. So all right, that'll work. Right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get our ribs or supports, and we're gonna go put them back on that ridge line, and then we're gonna start piling up our brush and stuff for the night, and we're gonna see how our shelter looks after that. All this stuff I'm cutting down right now, I'm gonna be using for the roof part. So any of this green stuff you see that I set aside, it's gonna be getting put to use. All right, now I have 5 already cut, so I'm gonna probably do about 3 or 4 more, and then we'll go put them on, and we'll start stacking up our shorter stuff and see how our shelters come along after that. There it goes. All right, I think after this one, we're gonna go ahead and take all this stuff and go put it up. I'm maybe
35, 40 yards away from where I'm going to set up at, so I'm not too far away. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that you got as many resources in one area as possible so you don't have to exert too much energy. All right, I'm going to take all of these over and we're going to get them set up and start piling stuff on top. There's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older, it's work smarter, not harder. So we're going to go ahead and tie all these up and we're going to drag them back. Okay, it's getting tight. That up. So when I was cutting these down, I cut one down and I used that one as a measuring stick, so to speak, and cut the other ones at that about that same length. So that's how I got that measurement. And keep on trucking here. Like I said, they're not all perfect, but they will work. We're gonna get all these tied together and take them back and see where we're at. But I'm excited to see how this is gonna turn out, and I'm really excited to sleep in this tonight. So been trying to get this video out for a little bit, and I just finally had time to get out and do it. So it's about 90 degrees out here in the Ozarks. So it's a good thing I don't have to worry about water. I've got plenty of that. FYI, I am not a professional knot tire either. So. But I am in the process of learning a bunch of different knots, so I'm excited about that as well. Let's see if that'll hold. Look at that. That'll work. All right, here we go. All right, let's get it up. I'll go ahead and move it out just a hair. This tree's just a little too narrow for me to lay down in, which that's my mistake, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little bit wider so I've got enough room to sleep in it tonight. But this would be a good time. You know, there's one. And in place. That way it gives me a little bit more room to lay down in. There's three. Looks like that's plenty. Alright. I don't think we need them, but it's always good to have a little bit more. Alright. So a lot of this stuff down here, I'm in a maple grove. There's a bunch of silver maples off to my south here. So I said I've got a southern wind, and so that's why I'm building my shelter this way. If I had a northern wind, all this would be on the other side. So let's get busy and finish our mat and start laying down the rest of the shelter. Alright guys, so when building the shelter, like I said, I'm not a professional. However, you want to start at the top and work your way down and apply it like you would shingles. So that way, if you did get rained on, it's going to go down instead of coming through and getting on you. And another thing, when putting your brush on, the trees and the limbs will grow up towards the sun, and so you want to flip them over, and that way it goes down the veins of the leaf, and to stay dry that way as well. Trying to fill in all the gaps. There she is. I may move some of those leaves up a little bit to give me a little bit more room to sleep, but I think other than that, it looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to sleeping in this tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. And hopefully one of these days, maybe when it starts cooling off, I can build something like this and stay in it overnight. So thanks again guys for watching. God bless you all. We'll see you next time.